Greetings, exiles. Finally, the new league will begin in a few days, which means it's time to choose your league starter. I don't know about you, but I've made my choice. And it will be Shield Crush Champion. Let's talk about my choice in more detail. I've wanted to try Shield Crush for a long time because I think this skill is underrated. And I think I'll be able to make a pretty strong build and won't have any problems with the new content in the game. In addition, we can use Shield Crush from Act 1, and I like builds where we use our main skill right away and I don't have to level up with a boring Sunder 100 times in a row. As for the champion, to be honest, I planned that my league starter would be Shield Crush Berserker, but in the new patch, the developers changed it slightly, and now it is not good for Shield Crush. Unfortunately. But on the other hand, the developers buffed champion, and now it's a real ascendancy, so I decided that this was a sign that I needed to try a renewed champion. As an alternative to the champion, you could consider Slayer. But that's a boring choice, and I want to try something new, especially considering the fact that there hasn't been a video about the champion on my channel in a long time. Some of my viewers may ask, is it a good idea to start with Shield Crush? Because for this skill, we need 2 key unique items that are quite expensive at the beginning of the league, and without them, this build is unplayable. Let's move on to my PoB and see what I have prepared for you. This is my starting build variant, and as you can see, we have pretty good damage, and at the same time, my starting build does not include these unique items. And if we look at my shield, it's trash, and to make it you'll need a base, Armorer's Scrap, 1 Shrieking Essence of Dread, and 2 Chaos Orbs for a benchcraft, and your shield is ready. If you want to buy a good rare shield, your damage will be even higher. My main point is that you don't need the Emperor's Vigilance at the start of a new league. However, my starting build uses 2 unique items. But this sword will cost 1C. And Perseverance is T4 unique item, and it will be cheap despite the fact that there will be many champions in this league and it will be in high demand. Because there will be a lot of these unique belts on the market. The same situation as with Cam's Primacy and Volcanic Fissure of Snaking. As I said earlier, I planned for my league starter to be Shield Crush Berserker, so I did a test run from 0 to 2 Void Stones. Because I had some doubts about how Shield Crush performs in the campaign and early maps. The main goal of this run was to test the build in relatively extreme conditions, where you don't have access to trade and you don't spend time on crafting. And you basically just rush to quest bosses and use the items you picked up from the ground. And I managed to get my first 2 Void Stones in 9 hours, which is a great result for me because I'm not a racer and a relatively slow player. I understand that this is Berserker and not Champion, but unfortunately I don't have the possibility to test the new Champion. But according to PoB, the Champion is not worse than Berserker and in some ways even better. And this is our damage when we can buy Seething Fury and Emperor's Vigilance. Pretty good, if you ask me. Damage is good, but we shouldn't forget about defense, and we're doing well there too. It's not the ultimate defense, of course, but overall it's not bad. And with Molten Shell and Flasks, our defense looks solid. Well, this is my endgame build. I won't bore you with tedious PoB anymore. If you are interested in the numbers, the link to my PoB will be in the description of this video, where you can find a lot of useful information. Leveling, gear progression, and of course, don't forget to check out the notes. Now it's time to talk about the unpleasant aspects and what some players may not like. The thing is, we're a melee build, and unlike fake melee builds, we have very modest AoE. And this is what the gameplay looks like if we don't invest in AoE. But in my endgame build, our AoE will be like this, which is much better. And on the bright side, Shield Crush performs well on corridor maps where enemies are always in front of us. So if you're looking for a build that will kill monsters off screen, you should look for something else. Anyway, as always, I don't sell my builds because I'm not interested in creating meta-breaking builds. I'm just showing my League starter and what I plan to play. So I'll just put this bait here and it's up to you to decide whether to pick it up or not. Thank you all for watching and commenting. I appreciate it. Also, I would be very grateful for your likes and subscriptions. Bye everyone, and see you in the new video.